and loads of people turned up. I think there were more than 1,000 tractors sitting in Whitehall at one point yesterday. Absolutely extraordinary scenes. And I put a tweet out saying, does this look like a government that is in control of what it's actually doing? And it looked to me like an amazing day out for people from the farming communities of this country who are absolutely dead set on making this government reverse their ridiculous inheritance tax drive to try and put these farmers out of business. I mean, look at that scene there, if you're watching the TV now. Brought the entire centre of Westminster to a standstill. Very peaceful, very respectful, but very determined as well. Let's talk to metcalf-fisher, External Affairs Director of the Countryside Alliance. Mo, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
It was a big turnout yesterday, and a lot of voices were heard. I saw, unusually, I mean, they'll probably argue with me and say they did it last time, but I saw quite a few Conservative MPs out there mixing with the farmers, having their pictures taken, talking to them. Obviously, Reform were there. Nigel Farage was speaking as well. What did you find about this particular demonstration that would encourage you to think that maybe you're going to make some inroads here?
Well, I think the most important thing, Mike, is what you alluded to earlier. It's just there's no waning on the part of farmers. In fact, if anything, I think farmers have got a lot more organised and sophisticated in their campaigning methods. And it's one thing having these demonstrations in Westminster. We do it because it's symbolic. It's about bringing the message to Rachel Reeves and Keir Starmer. Right. They're not in listening mode. They don't want to engage at all. OK, they just don't want to engage. So what farmers are now doing is they're doing a lot more demonstrating and I would say public liaison in constituencies all around the country. And I've said it before, but if I was an MP who sided with the government on this disastrous farm tax, and I had 20 or 30 farmers turn up to supermarket car parks in my constituency, and I was sat on a small majority, I'd be a bit scared because the public actually like farmers. Yeah. They're not massive fans of politicians. Right. And so if you've got farmers out there basically talking about this policy and talking about the local MP and almost campaigning, this is going to go on for months and months and months. If anything, this is, as I said, it's awakening a sort of fire in the belly of farmers. And that's what you can see there today. And look, did you see, Mike, how many of those people are young people? Yeah. Because it's about them. At the end of the day, all of this is about them. And we had some amazing speakers, including one very young girl, who's dreamed of doing this. This is her dream. And so we were there to fight for her. Yeah. No, I mean, I saw a lot of people being interviewed yesterday who were not even farmers, who had come to the demonstration, who said, look, my friend's a farmer, I'm in my 20s, you know, this is the future for us, you know, and somebody said, why are you here? And he said, well, it's because it's wrong. It's just wrong. And it is so wrong-headed. But they're so pig-headed in government right now. You wonder what's it going to take for them to sort of turn and twist and accept that they have got it wrong? I don't know, Mike. I mean, you know, we're talking here about reason and common sense. We're not talking about U-turns. We're not talking about trying to embarrass the government. Yeah. We're talking about trying to find a way forward out of the mess. But they're not interested. It's like they're more obsessed with ego and pride than they are with the kind of reason and common sense approach. And you're right, Mike. And this is what should worry Labour MPs and people supporting this policy, is that this is incredibly unpopular with the public and even Labour's voters. Poll after poll shows it. You and I aren't farmers, Mike. You know, we get farmers. Right. I mean, in the Countryside Alliance, obviously, I represent lots of farming families that could be hit by this. It cuts through in a way that I really don't think that Whitehall boffins and the government understand. No. But I think they're finding out. I mean, look at those scenes. That would worry me. It's not something that's... It's not healthy, Mike. It's not healthy to be in this mess. It's not healthy for the countryside and Whitehall to be at loggerheads. There are so many conversations that need to happen about the countryside and the very fragile rural communities. But until this issue is addressed, it will overshadow everything. And every time the government want to talk about its agenda that relates to the countryside, this will keep coming back. And that's not healthy, because we've got a load of issues in the countryside that need fixing.
Yeah, absolutely right. And all it does really is it sort of highlights the fact that so many people in government, in particular in this government, have no clue what it's actually even like to take a train outside of the sort of the London, Greater London area. They don't know, they wouldn't know what to do. They get a nosebleed if they went to Wiltshire, you know, and saw a lot of green fields. They wouldn't know, oh my goodness, I haven't even got any boots to walk in. Oh, it's very muddy, isn't it? You know, and I've seen it in the media as well, where so many people who don't ever leave London don't understand what most of this country actually lives like.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is now, Mike, remember, there's a lot of rural constituencies that are now represented by the Labour Party.
Yeah.
You know, for the first time in a very long time. We're talking over 100, 130 upwards, you know, more than that, seats now. So there's no excuse for not understanding the countryside. They're in the countryside.
Yeah.
And they've had, you know, countless examples of farmers trying to write to them, speak to them and urge them to see sense on this. And we're hearing that they're just being ignored. And in the build-up to the election, you know, the Labour Party did a really good job of courting the countryside. Now, I brought it up in my speech yesterday.
Keir Starmer went as far as to go to the NFU's conference, the National Farmers Union conference, in December, I think, of 2023, and promised them that they would not ever put up inheritance tax on the farmers. So it was another blatant lie by old the farmer harmer.
Yeah, and he also promised to restore the bond of respect between politics and people.
He does talk about cobblers, doesn't he?
Specifically referring to the countryside and the countryside people.
Yeah.
And you look how quickly that's blown up. It just hasn't happened. And what a missed opportunity. What a missed opportunity. But this is all about it, Mike. This is exactly what we need to do. This is why we need to find an end to this. It's almost like a stalemate.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not going to go away. And as I said, farmers are going to get more organised and more determined. These guys are not going to back down.
Yeah. No, I hope not. Mo, good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. Mo Metcalf-Fisher, External Affairs Director of the Countryside Alliance. I put out a tweet yesterday with that amazing picture of all those tractors. Look at it there. 1,000 of them in Whitehall, literally bringing the nation's capital to a standstill and making the point. And I said, does this look like a government that's in control of its own destiny? And the answer is no, it doesn't, because they don't know what to do. What did Starmer do? He decided to run for it, along with old Angela Rayner. Well, she couldn't run because she was wearing those brothel creeper shoes, to go and meet the King to look at some housing somewhere in the country. What an absolute plank.